Hi, thanks for joining us today. I'm going to just talk through some of the new features and highlights in the DAAconnect system. We've recently launched the new user interface, so we do have some changes that I will walk you through. We will not get into workflows and some of the more advanced features today. This is just a general overview of some of the main changes so that you are familiar with navigating the new system. Here on the login screen, you'll notice there's a couple of new boxes down here at the bottom. We just have a couple of, on the left side, we have the Welcome to DAAconnect page, where if you're a new user, this is helpful just to kind of get a feel for what exactly the system can do. You can also link directly to the youth program locator from this page. On the right side is just a notices box where we will be posting important notifications and things to remember. So if we have new trainings or if the system is temporarily unavailable or something along those lines, that will be posted here in the notices box. So just make sure to check that when you're logging in. So when you log into DAAconnect, it will look entirely different because we did roll out a new user interface. So it does look a little brighter, a little cleaner. You'll notice there's new icons on the left where we actually didn't have any icons before. The dashboard looks entirely different as well. The first part of the dashboard is really to help our providers know where they're at if they are set up to be on our DA partner directory, which was formerly called the global directory, which is the internal provider to provider directory, and just a quick, simple way for them to see if they're set up on the youth program locator or not. So this is a dynamic and interactive dashboard. So you'll know if you've completed, so basically there's 4 steps to be on the partner directory and youth program locator, which is what the majority of our providers are on. So you'll know if you've completed the step by the green check mark. So you'll know right away when you log into the system if you're missing a step or if you need to update your program schedule. There's a couple of ways you can get into the part of the system where you can update this information. So when you need to update your organization profile, you can do it directly from the dashboard. These are edit buttons. So when you click in here, it'll take you directly to the page that you need to fill out in order to get the green check mark. So same thing down here for all of the steps required for setup. You can click directly into the forms here. And then once you have everything filled out, you'll see the green check marks and it will tell you whether or not you are displaying on the partner directory or the youth program locator. All of these edit buttons here take you over here to the organization profile. So that's all this really is setting up your organization profile. You can navigate with the edit buttons here. You can select organization profile here. And then the program schedule, that's previously activities. So if you'll remember in the old system where you'd go in and put in the dates and times of the specific programs or the classes, we're now calling that a program schedule. So you can edit your program schedule here directly from the dashboard by clicking on the edit button or clicking over here on the program schedules tab. A couple of other new features of the dashboard. So this is just to give you a quick snapshot of what features you have available to you in the system. So if you're a provider and you see the green unlock button, that means you have access to those specific features. If it's grayed out and it's locked, that means you do not have access. And if you're interested in getting access, just go ahead and email us at the email down here, daaconnect@denvergov.org. If you're interested in using any of these advanced features, we're happy to help you through that process and getting set up for that. Just reach out to us, but just note those will not be available if you don't have the proper access set up in the system. Now, these are not dynamic. You cannot click. They do not take you anywhere. This is just more visual, just so you know where you're at in the system, basically. A couple of other features in the system. You can see there's new menu tabs over here. So this will obviously look a little different depending on how you're using the system and what features you have access to, and also what your permission levels are in the system, whether you have a director level permission or if you're a site specific user. These buttons will look a little different depending on those things. So the organization profile, if you click in there, again, it's the same buttons here. I'll just click in briefly. This is where you go in and fill out everything you need to show up on the partner directory or the youth program locator. You can click into these forms and fill out information. You can add, if you don't have that step completed, you can add here. If you need to make any changes, you can click, these are all links, you can click directly into the form, make your changes. And then, so that's kind of the organization profile piece. And again, we're not clicking in here. That'll be on the next video to walk you through some of these processes and workflows. This is, again, just more of a navigational feature. So we can go back to the dashboard. So if you are a provider that needs to update your program schedule, if something has expired or you're ready to enter program schedules for the next term, you can click on program schedules, or you can click that edit button, and you'll just go in and add the program schedule here. So you'll click add, you'll go and you're putting your dates and times and all the information that you previously put in as an activity. That's now here under program schedule. There's also some nice search features here that we didn't have before. So if you're a provider with multiple programs here, you can now search for that. You can search by focus area. Focus area was previously called programs, so that was kind of the second step in the setup process. But you'll see once you start working through some of the changes there that it's the same information. We're just calling it focus area, and now activity is called program schedule. You can also search here by specific dates if you want to look at just your fall programs or just your summer programs, whatever you have. You can definitely use these filters here. Other features, so we do have down here our help center. So if you click on that, that will give you the contact information for your DAAconnect team. If you're having any issues, you can feel free to call or email us. Email generally gets a quicker response. And then also here on the training resources, this is where you can find additional written and video material on some of the other features in the system. So that'll all be listed here. The DA partner directory. So this was previously called the global directory, and it looks and functions the same. We just renamed it, and we made a couple of changes here just in how we're organizing the information, but it's all the same information. So the DA partner directory, just as a reminder, is for providers to connect with other providers. So this is not public. This is only available to those with a DAAconnect login. So you can go in here, you can search different categories, you can, filter your search, and then you'll see, your search results here on the right. So yes, you're welcome to use that as much as possible to connect with other providers for to see, if you can collaborate on programs and that sort of thing. So we do encourage you to use that. So that was the partner directory. User accounts. So if you need to create a new user, a new DAAconnect user for someone else in your organization, you can do that here. So you do not need to reach out to the DAAconnect team to do that. So if you would like to add different users, you can do that here. So you would first create a new username for them. So we'll just do one really quickly. My username will be Lisa M. Enter in email address, first and last name, and then what role do you want for this user? A director level will have full access to the organization and all the different sites. If you would like only a site staff user and assign them to specific sites, you can do that here. You can also make a site-specific user an attendance-only user. So if you're using the attendance feature in DAAconnect, you can have a staff member only have access to do attendance. And then same thing for survey access. So if you want to assign one of the staff to only do surveys at your site and only access that information, you can assign that here. So for these purposes, I'm going to say, I'm going to create a new user for the staff, for site staff. So we're just going to create new user, and then the system will email the person their temporary login. They'll email them the website, the temporary login, and they'll be able to get in. And then the one thing you'll want to do is if you do have a site staff user, you have to go in and manually tell the system to give them access to that site. So here's my site 123. I'm going to mark that the user has access and then update. And then you will see that that user now has access to site 123. And then one last feature that I want to point out, this My Account tab. This is for your specific DAAconnect account. So if you wanted to change your username, if you wanted to change your email, if you want to change your password, you can do that all here. One other thing that I forgot to point out, back on user accounts. So if you have multiple users in the system, which a lot of our larger organizations do, if that user can't find their login information, you can resend that to them yourself. So if this user we just created, Lisa M, for the site staff, if Lisa M can't find her login information, you can go in here. If you have the director level access, you can go in here and resend, just click that button, resend, and it'll resend the login information to the email that's on file for that user. So that's actually very helpful. So that's really kind of the main overview features. Now things do change a little bit if you're using some of the more advanced features of the system. If you're using registration, if you're doing attendance in the system, if you're doing DPS reports, surveys. So if you're using those more advanced features, there are going to be some additional trainings on how to navigate that and going over the new workflows. So we're not going to visit that in this session today, but for our users that are just Partner Directory and Youth Program Locator, that's all you really need to know is how to work through the dashboard and making sure those steps are set up. So we'll have an additional video for those users that just need to complete these steps on the dashboard. So look for that video, and please sign up for other trainings on the different modules. We'll be releasing those as needed. So thank you for your time, and please reach out to the DAAconnect team if you have any questions. Thank you. Have a great day.